I'm in a glass house where they grow some of the most amazing tomatoes in the world. There are so many different varieties of tomatoes that you can buy. How could you stop at just using one? I'm going to make a salad using 3 different varieties, and they are amazing, sweet and juicy, and they've all just come off the vines. Now, what I've got are some pepper toms here, which are gorgeous tomatoes. They sit up on their own, and they're great for stuffing or snacking or anything you want. Now, what I'm going to do is slice them into quarters here. They're beautiful tomatoes, and they're so sweet and juicy. You don't even want to cut them up. They're so pretty. You just want to serve them like that, and I'll throw these into the bowl here. I've got these super toms. The thing about these you want to be careful of, when they're orange, they're ripe. Believe me, they are super juicy. Fantastic. Into the bowl they go. Now, I'm going to use some herbs. I've got some parsley here. And what I'll do is just slice about 1/4 of a bunch of parsley, nice and rough. This is a really rustic salad. In it goes like that. A couple of spring onions, and I'll just slice them into nice little rounds. Look at that. I've got some red peppers here already cut, and I'll throw about 1/4 cup of that in. And I've got some bread. It's a little bit crusty. They'll help soak up the dressing. And a few macadamia nuts. I love that crunch. And some Kalamata olives, some of my favourite olives. I'll put about 1/4 cup of them in. Now, some avocado, one of my favourite things to put into a salad. It makes the salad nice and smooth and creamy, just like me. Slice that through the middle there like that, and with my spoon here, I'll just peel off a couple little pieces like that to make it sort of, gives it a nice little shape. And now the dressing, one of the most important parts. I've got the bread in there, so you want to make sure that you have just a little bit of extra dressing. Some vinegar, some white wine vinegar. You can use any sort of vinegar you want. Some pepper, some black pepper, mostly milled, some salt. Make sure you put salt in there. Nothing brings out the flavour of these beautiful tomatoes than salt. And of course, some good old extra virgin olive oil, Australian of course. Everything in this bowl here is Australian. That's what's great about it. Now, all I need to do is give that a mix up with my spoon, just gently. You don't want to bruise anything. And all I do is get a great plate like this, pour all the dressing on all the tomatoes and all the bits and pieces. I grab a little bit of goat's cheese. Just a couple little scoops, and because I love anchovies, I'm going to put some of this on. I call them hairy fish, but if you don't like anchovies, don't put them on. And then just a little bit of the anchovy oil. Just let that drizzle in through all the tomato and all those ingredients in there. I know this is a great tomato salad. I can smell all these tomatoes growing and ripening up around me.